Malta has been dealing with overpopulation since 2011. Rome has been dealing with overpopulation problems since the time of Caesar. So they've sort of learned, and I think we can really learn from them. They've made a few mistakes, but we can take a few things, and I think we can really change and help the market in a better way than it is at the moment. QuickLets, all right, you did it, but Zanzi, you're never going to manage. And today we're at 160 million,
The demand is actually higher than the amount of property that we have.
which controls the price. But last week we rented 54 flats in one day. When I had written the business plan by 2021, we had to have an office on the moon. Just do it. Don't think about it too much. Don't try and get it perfect, because sometimes perfection is what keeps you from launching.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the 7th episode of the Pure Street Podcast, your first podcast about real estate market in Malta. My name is Ingrid Souza.
My name is Zach.
And we have a guest, Zach. You have no idea. He is the CEO and founder of QuickLets. He started from zero, and today he has the first #1 company of real estate market in Malta. Steve Mercieca. Welcome, Steve.
Thank you, Ingrid. Thank you, Zach, for the invite. I've been looking forward to this. I'm quite excited. I've been following your podcasts. I've seen them, and I think they're all very interesting. So let's see what comes out of this one.
Yeah, so Steve, you started from zero, and then you have what today is the #1 real estate agency in Malta. How was this process? How long ago?
Yeah, so it was around the end of 2013 when we started the business. At the time, I don't look at it as like I have. I think at least we have. I think that everyone within QuickLets and Zanzi Homes group all sort of own a part of it and form a part of it. It was really culture driven. So it was driven by having this movement of like-minded people that didn't want to be tied down to certain working hours. I had been working for 7 years in a bank. I worked as a night receptionist. I worked as a Pizza Hut delivery biker.
You've done your fair share.
I had done quite a few things. And it was 2013, and at the time, the industry was a bit more, I would say, it was a little bit harder to get a job. The tech was a little bit further back. So what we focused on are our main values. It was innovation, it was culture, diversity, and purpose. And I think every decision that we made went around those values. And it started really from tech. We were the first agency on the island to open up, to have our database on the cloud. So it wasn't on servers within the office, which gave people the flexibility to work from home, to work online. We also believed a lot in people accepting people as they were. We did not have uniforms. We had a few rules, but these rules were more sort of based around the comfort of the person and the professionalism of the person, So we were the first real estate company. We sort of followed the iGaming model where we had lanyards and people could sort of wear what they want, be themselves. And the idea was to create a sense of belonging where everyone felt they could have their second family, their second home. And that's what our offices are all about.
When you started, you had the idea of the dimension, the proportion that QuickLets would take?
Well, that's a funny question. When I had written the business plan by 2021, we had to have an office on the moon. So it's quite funny, actually, because I looked at the business plan a while ago. I could get goosebumps saying it. But I always really, really dream big, So I think that everyone should dream big. Everyone should aim high. Some people disagree with it. So they would say that having high goals and not achieving them might demotivate you. But I really believe in setting a very high goal. Like this saying that goes, if you aim for the stars, if you miss, you aim for the moon, if you miss, you end up among the stars. So yeah, I've always had big ambitions for the company, and thank God we had the right people. It attracted the right people that helped us to be the #1 agency we are today.
You started with these people as an agent, or you already started to build the company?
No, so basically when I started, I had worked a couple of weeks with a few other people a year before, and I didn't really enjoy the environment. It was a little bit too corporate, so I thought I could do it better. I was working in iGaming, so I was working as a betting promotion, this company that does live odds and so on. And in the night, I was a night receptionist at a hotel. So at night, I was sort of making an Excel sheet, checking on Facebook, Malta Park, finding listings, and putting them in this Excel sheet. Then I told one of my friends about it. I told him that I would like to build a piece of software. And he helped me because he was a tech guy.
All right.
And he built this software, which today is, as we all know, is the
system that
the system that we use today. Yeah.
All right. And what about your first deal? How did it go about?
Well, that's was quite a long time ago. Looking back, my God, time flies. So there were a couple of the first deals, the two deals I remember the most. So one of them was this guy named Raul. It was, I remember, at the Piro Point, just near our offices. His name was Raul. It was a €600 two-bedroom apartment in the Piro Point or Belmont. I know it was the Piro.
600.
Wow.
600.
I wish this price again.
Two-bedroom. And I really believe in. For me, being an agent is not just about the transaction. It's about lifestyle. It's about meeting local people that know where they are. What's on, which pub to go to, which club to go to. If you want to go rock climbing, if you want to, I don't know, go to a live band, whatever it may be, on the island. I wanted to show this guy. So I took this guy to take around my clients for an island tour type of thing.
All right.
I used to take them a box of Maltese things, and I always used to put in toilet paper in the box because coming from the airport and renting a house without toilet paper, at the time, you didn't have those.
So back then it was normal. You didn't.
Back then it was so we had more time as well. I think the market wasn't so fast either.
Yeah.
And there was less competition as well. Back in the day, real estate, the rental was a sort of neglected market, So this is where we saw a big opportunity. And I remember this guy Raul. He used to speak Spanish. I knew a word of Spanish. I had taken him to the Camino camping, and we went rock climbing, and he went down on the cliff with the rock. I couldn't see him with the rope. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Anyway, he got up. We're still friends till today. We're obviously Facebook connected, and he's ski instructor now, a snowboard instructor. So yeah, he's a nice guy. There was another first deal which actually gave me the opportunity to make the plunge to leave my iGaming job, which obviously is always a really, you guys know, leaving a secure job for a commission-based dream, really, because you're trading your paycheck for flexibility, for uncapped income, but you're changing your stability, which is something a lot of people think twice about. And at the time, I had just got my wife pregnant. My wife was having a baby, so leaving into and opening up
it was a big risk.
It was a big risk and a very difficult decision. But I really believed in what we had, in the dream we had. I really believed that there was a gap in the market for what QuickLets is today. And anyway, sorry, I'm just talking. I had rented this place at Tinia Point at the time. It was a 5,250 euro place. And it's quite a funny story, actually, because the guy that called me his name was Steve as well. I'm sure he won't mind me mentioning him. We're still friends as well till today. He's left the island. He lives in Scotland now. But he's Steve. He's Scottish, and he was renting in different places because he eventually wanted to buy a place in Malta. So first he was renting at the Hilton. So he was then at Porto Maso. Then I showed him this flat. But before I got this phone call, so I was at home. I remember it like it was yesterday. I got this phone call, and this guy on the phone goes, "Hi, my name. Do you work in property?" He told me. I told him, yes. Where did you get my number? I hadn't yet started to advertise. I had no website, I had put on a lot of posts on Facebook. I used to stay writing. I didn't even have the name QuickLets. I was Agent 007 because I found it funny that a real estate agent is James Bond and all that. So does anyone have any property? I have a client. And people started to give me property. At the time, there was less demand, so there was a lot of supply. So this guy calls me and I answer the phone, and this guy goes, is Steve? Sorry. I said, who's that? He goes, Steve. Who's that? Do you work in property? I tell him, yes, I work in property. And then he says, yes, I'm looking for a flat. Can you help me? I told him, okay, sure. What are you looking for? And he told me, I'm looking for a three-bedroom apartment around Slim area, Tinia, and so on. And I told him, okay, what's your budget? And he told me €5,000 a month. And obviously, I thought it was a prank.
Yeah, back then it was even more. Like...
I thought it was my friends taking the piss out of me, But I closed the deal. I got the commission, and that gave me the thing to take the plunge. And then I asked him, I told him, where did you get my number from? And he goes, look how important customer service is. And this is why I think we've thrived so much, because my mom had a flat in Gozo, and she had this other guy named John living there. She had rented it to him. This was 5 years before the 10 years ago. So I had nothing to do with property at the time. But my mom used to tell me sort of, can you please help him, and you should give me some pocket money to go and change a light bulb and help him set up the barbecue. I was a little bit old. But he was one of these expats. God rest his soul today, because he passed away. But he had posted on one of these forums that this guy Steve had posted on one of these forums. He commented that Steve works in property, and he's a really good. Gives a great service. Really great guy.
He recommended you.
So he recommended me on a forum that had nothing to do with QuickLets or any of these reviews on Facebook. It was just one of these property forums, and that's where he contacted me from. So yeah, 5 years after that, then I closed the deal, and I said to my boss, I'm off. And that's how QuickLets eventually became started. This was the first move of QuickLets. At Zanzi Homes, we really believe in focusing on you as a seller if you're looking to sell a property. So we've launched this new product, which is called Just Zanzi, where you would list it with Zanzi agents, and it would be a period of 6 weeks. And we've successfully managed to sell 78% of the listings that we have onboarded on Just Zanzi. We invest in the property, we create a page for the property, we invest in photography, we take care of everything from A to Z. Even if other agents want to view it, we open the door for you. You give us 6 weeks, and I guarantee you 78% of the time your property will be sold. So please, click the link below and add it to Just Zanzi.
So, sir, in these years you have accomplished a lot, right?
Yeah.
What other accomplishments you really feel proud of making along your professional life?
I mean, it's been a long time. So 10 years, although it passed in the blink of an eye, is quite a long period of time. And I think together as a group, we've achieved so much. And I think that besides all the professional numbers and all the listings and all that, I think one of the few things which I'm very proud of is creating this sort of second home for people that work with QuickLets and Zanzi Homes. How many times I've met people, like even on a boat party or at one of these guys, they say, "Man, thank you, because of what you've created and I tell it's not me, it's what we've all created together, because we all create the vibe." But this sense of belonging, this open door, this family that we've created, I think a lot of people maybe were not sure what they wanted to do with their life, and they said, let me try it. And then they try it and they just stay.
Yeah, and they like it, and they...
because I think real estate is something like, if you do it and you enjoy it, I don't see myself doing any other job ever again in my life, you know what? But yeah, and that's one of the things. Another thing I'm very proud of, speaking to Regis before, is our foundation as well. We've planted thousands of trees. We've donated many books in Ghana. We went to Ghana. We supplied internet for children in Ghana, for 2 schools in Ghana. We've done about 55 cleanups, ocean bed cleanups. And I'm finally, that's where I want to be. I'm starting to lose the number of how many things the foundation is doing. Yeah, so yeah, I mean, yeah, my professional life. And then obviously there are a lot of things that I'm proud of in my personal life. Getting married to my best friend, having 2 kids, you know, it's been quite, I feel very lucky and blessed to be where I am today.
So if you want to know more about his projects, we'll put a link here below.
In the comments.
And like the video, subscribe if you're not subscribed.
And click the share.
Exactly. And Steve, so 10 years ago, the market was totally different than it is nowadays.
Yes, exactly. I think it changed a lot. So what's your opinion? What do you think of the market back then and now?
Well, I think the market is, a lot of people, in my opinion, obviously, a lot of people make a mistake, and when I make a mistake in my mind, that they talk about the property market as a market. Whereas when you look at the property market, there are many different markets, sub-markets within this market. So I don't know, it's like sort of you've got apartments, penthouses, villas, houses, terraced houses. A terraced house can be also a site for development. So it's you're buying the airspace, not the house. And I've seen it evolve. I mean, I've only been around 10 years, whereas some others have been around longer. But in the last 10 years, we've seen the real estate market. I mean, I used to have listings besides the €600 2-bedroom department in the Piro. studio flats in center of Sliema, just off Tower Road, were 350 for a month, 300.
10 years ago.
10 years ago. I mean, then I just started seeing the prices started going up. €50 every 6 months. Every time I'd re-rent it, it's 500. I'm like, fuck, it's getting out of hand. But it just keeps renting. It just keeps renting. I mean, just last week, we rented...
The demand is actually higher than the amount of property that we have.
Which controls the price, which unfortunately sometimes it goes out of affordable factor. But I mean, last week, we rented 54 flats in one day. I mean... It's crazy when you start to think, like, people say there's nothing available, but constantly they come. So, yeah, the market has changed a lot, and I've seen even the sort of I've seen quite a lot of sort of even the owners sort of changing. They're moving a lot into property management as well. They're giving their properties to companies like ours to property manage them for them because it's less hassle. You know, they don't have to deal with anyone. They just receive the check. So we've seen that come in a lot, whereas before it was much less popular. The subletting has come in as well a lot. I mean, subletting before was not so popular. To these days, man, you look around, there's a lot of subletting going on, which in turn, I believe, sort of helps the market because at the end of the day, agents provide, I mean, renting without an agent is virtually impossible because people don't advertise properties. You can't, if you advertise a flat of I don't know, €800, you don't even need to advertise it. It's rented before it's on Facebook, you know? So yeah, I've seen it change. Also, my experience has given me the opportunity to explore different markets. So my COVID project, when everything was shut down for COVID, I decided to spend a lot of time studying the rental markets across the European Union. So I studied the market in Italy, in France, in Spain, in Portugal, in Cyprus, in Greece. I looked at what they do, how they work it. I'm actually a member of the API in Spain and Portugal, and I'm a member of the Cypriot Real Estate Agents Association in Cyprus. We actually have an office there, as you guys know. Yeah. So I've studied all these different markets, and these are very mature markets. Mm-hmm. Malta is a very immature market, and when I say immature, I mean Malta has been dealing with overpopulation or this influx of expats since 2011. Before 2011, the percentage of the population was 5% for expats. Today, it's almost 30%. So we're seeing this overpopulation, whereas places like Barcelona have been dealing with overpopulation problems, they are problems, uh-huh, for over 500 years. Rome has been dealing with overpopulation problems since the time of Caesar. So they've sort of learned, and I think we can really learn from them. They've made a few mistakes, but we can take a few things from and I think we can really change and help the markets, help Malta progress in a better way than it is at the moment.
Yes, you said very important things here. First, that being an agent, you open your options, not just to rent, but to sublet or to the property manager. You have many options for that. And second, that we are having more tourists than before. So what gives us more markets to work on it? Exactly. Right. So if you balance people who are here in Malta with the options that this agent has, what is your advice for the person who is starting now in this business?
Well, I believe a lot in focus, hence why we've got different brands for everything. So although Richard Branson is one of my sort of idols, I look up to him and I've read all his books and so on. Richard Branson has adopted the branded house strategy in his marketing team. So everything is Virgin Air, Virgin Mobile, Virgin Atlantic, Virgin Voyages, and VVV, Virgin. Whereas we decided to adopt the House of Brands strategy, which is a strategy that focuses on specialization and focus. So I think a lot of people say, let me go in the property market. They come into the industry and they start sort of, be it letting or sales, they start sort of seeing, they make a calculation of how much they could get if they sell or rent this, or if they sublet this and sublet that. And unfortunately, sometimes they start to try and do everything at once. It's like chasing a lot of rabbits and not managing to get down. So my advice to anyone starting in the industry would be pick one and focus on it. Try not to do too many at the same time. So if you're going into sales, I wouldn't even say just pick sales. I would say pick an area to sell. So become a specialist of Sliema. Like I don't sell much, but every now and again I try and sell. But I focus not even on Sliema, on Tower Road. Just Tower Road. Because I believe a lot in location. I believe a lot in specialization. Whereas if someone wanted to come and buy a property on Tower Road, they would seek me because I would know 181 flat 4, that much, 1.2 million, 181 flat 5, I would know who owned
Not
it.
by heart.
You know it by heart. And that is the value you get out of an agent. So if you're going into the industry, pick sort of, I don't know, you want to work on villas, just pick Madlena and start on that. Go door to door knocking and understand every single one. See who the architect was of that villa, understand the pricing, so check listings online, see what's on, When you focus and you take it seriously, it's really not that hard. It is just a big risk because you end up, so it's like everything in life. The longer, it's like the higher risk, the higher reward, It's like when you go and invest in stocks, they actually have low risk, medium risk, high risk. Being an agent is high risk, but high reward. And it also gives you that flexibility, meeting new people, getting stuck in traffic all day, sweating in the sun. I think meeting people is the best part of the job.
I need to take my notes. So, Steve, you have like this many options and you are working now yourself with developing and flipping, so you can open more the options that you have.
Yes,
How's it going?
Basically, QuickLets and Zanzi, the people that lead QuickLets and Zanzi Homes and commercial QLC, and even all our team at the office, we have 23, 22 people employed at head office. As you know, we have 1,400 square meters at Calle House in San Juan. Our new office is over 4 levels, 5 actually. This support, this infrastructure we've built, along with the culture that we've grown in the agency itself, and the tech that we have, is sort of even attract the best people, the best top key players in the industry are being attracted to the brand on their own. So our brand is just keeping growing. So I sort of sometimes, although I obviously am the CEO still of QuickLets, and I go to work and I still work very hard on QuickLets and Zanzi Homes. I also have a few other different projects which I started to do as our 10-year plan. So the 10-year vision we finished, and now we have a 5-year vision, and that is to diversify a little bit into things. I started a little bit of property development, which I'm loving. So we have 4 sites ongoing at the moment, and I'm really enjoying seeing the projections, looking at the plans, moving them around with the architect. I'm finding it extremely exciting, and I feel that I needed this new boost, We also built a software CRM system called House It, which is it's a CRM system for international agencies that we want to try and subscribe them to. So it's a software system that helps them use their clients and some mobile app and so on, which has given me the opportunity to travel to many different countries, which I've really enjoyed as well. We have tech teams outside of Malta as well. We've moved into property management and room rental, which is a new project as well we're doing. Well, we tried property management a bit before, but today, with our team that we've got, these 22 people at head office are all in the same light, in the same vision. So they're all pushing to the same goals. So it's not just me. I have team. The team is dispersed and works on everything individually. So if someone is working in letting, for example, our head of letting would always help our head of sales. Our head of sales would always help our head of letting. So when you've got so many people that are like-minded and have the ambition and the contacts and the network that the group, the QuickLets and Zanzi Homes group have, it's just all a recipe of success and so much fun and so much. I really enjoy it.
It's so beautiful when you talk this way about your team, because you can see that you are a true leader. You are not like by yourself. You have people with you as well.
You appreciate the people that are working with you, obviously. And
I would never be, we would never be here if it wasn't for the people. All the people from that, even the people that have left, because the people that you were with us, and like one of my very good friends that we had started in the beginning with us, and it was just me and him at Zanzi Homes. And before, I had no clue what we were doing. I thought it was fake it till we make it. And everyone used to tell us, you're never going to, okay, QuickLets, you took over the market because no one was paying attention to the market. It was a neglected market. So you took over the rental market, and you're leading the rental market. However, sales is a different animal, they said. Sales is a different animal. It's much harder. This is always the same thing, it's that naysayers, those naysayers. And me and him, I tried it. And the more people say that it's a different thing and you can't do it,
The more you want to do it.
I'll tell you, I didn't sleep. I'd get out of bed, ready to eat it. I'd be like, I have to do it now.
This is the boost you needed, actually.
I gotta do it now. And that was the key one of the key motivators as well. Saying that QuickLets, all right, you did it, but Zanzi, you're never gonna manage. And today we're at 160 million. We're up till the end of July, so end of June. So I think we've got a massive team of around 120 agents. We're really pushing on Zanzi Homes. We have our own in-house academy, as you know, and so forth. But yeah, it's been quite a journey. And anyway, sorry, I lost track. I get so excited sometimes talking. This guy that started working with me in the beginning, and then we got some other professional people that joined us from the competitors, and our sales just shot up 333% with just a couple of pointers. It is amazing, man. And these pointers and this training, and then we started to boom, boom, boom. And this guy, his goal was to have a passive income after 2 years with Zanzi. And we're here as well because of his contribution to that. So even that, he bought 2 flats, rental income, passive income, and went traveling the world, So he's been traveling Thailand, Malaysia, all over the place, So yeah, so my gratitude goes out to those people that were with us as well and have moved on.
You have a property in Malta and you don't have time to go to the viewings, to book the viewings, to go to the housing authority, to find cleaners. We can do that for you, right, Zach?
Of course. Here at QuickLets, we do property management. We take care of your property from A to Z. All you do is receive the money in your bank account. In other terms, we do leasing, contracting, viewings, calls from agents, maintenance, renovation, problems with tenants, registrations. All of the above.
24/7, we work for you. You just have the money, the best part. Don't forget to contact us if you want us to take care of your property.
So, would you have maybe some advice for some young entrepreneurs, or not so young as well, but that would like to start something? And
a lot of people say there's a saying, and I had wrote an article about it once. There's a saying that goes, do what you love, but sometimes doing what you love doesn't pay the bills, which is very sad in today's money caged world, because you need money to survive. It's as simple as that, as bad as it may sound. So I prefer to say love what you do instead of do what you love. If you are doing whatever it may be, if you're an entrepreneur and you make sure that it's the right timing in the market, make sure that the market's not too mature. Do you mind? I was about to make a point. Making sure that the market's not too mature, making sure that it's the right time. 85% of businesses which fail because it's the wrong timing. So, so make sure that do your homework, do your studying. I had believed there was VAT, and I had believed a lot in the co-working space. There was a lot of talk about co-working. So I had said, let me open up a co-working space. I thought it would be an instant success. I invested 25 grand. At the time for me, it was like all the money I had made from QuickLets, really believing it's going to work. I rented the space for subletting in subletting desks out in Valletta. I thought it would be great because of all the lawyers and the notaries and architects that work in Valletta, and I was fucking wrong. I lost all of it within 3 months. I didn't do enough research. So make sure that if you're an entrepreneur trying something new, do your research, speak to many people, get advice from people. There's a book called The Mom Test, MOM Test, because your mom is always going to say that it's a great idea and it's going to work. But
doesn't mean it's true.
Well, your mom is someone that would always believe in you and push you. And but obviously, that's why you need to ask a few other people. You need to ask a few other people, what do you think this would work? And besides asking a few other people, today there's ChatGPT, which is great to help with strategies. Mm-hmm. You can go on Fiverr and get market research done on Fiverr from outsourcing it through the Upwork network. So yeah, but just do it. Don't think about it too much. Don't think about it. Don't try and get it perfect, because sometimes perfection is what keeps you from launching. So if you're thinking, but this needs to be perfect because it needs to be, just fucking go. Throw, like you build your wings on the way down, type of thing. And then if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Just make sure that you've got something that you're not putting someone at risk that doesn't make it work out.
What are your next steps?
My next steps. I mean, hopefully we can get the CRM sold all over Europe and the world. That's one of the things we're really working hard on. And I really like this development. I'm really enjoying it. So I really wanna build the projects a little bit differently than no, I just don't want to go for the normal 3+1s, 4+1s. I want to have different facades. I want to try and make them as sustainable as possible, So this is something that I want to pursue at the moment.
So you're trying to do something different from that point of view.
Well, different in design. So I'd rather have like a special block, because I really think that having something different. So you've got a normal block that has design. It's a nice design. Don't get me wrong. That there'll be a nice design, but there are some. I mean, if you get that influence from Barcelona or Gouda, you feel you're looking at the one and then you see one like, what the fuck is that? And it's just so incompetent. Everyone's just like, you see there's hundreds of thousands of buildings in Barcelona, but the house of Gouda, you're literally out there and people filming it. Why? Because it's different and beautiful, of course. Unfortunately, I'm not an architect, so I can't really design it, but there are some great architects on the island which we're working with that are really helping us come up with these different facades which add a statement. And I think that even just a different facade can make it a statement building, and I think that Malta can have this.
So you also think that there is a future in Malta?
Well, there's a future in Malta for sure.
It looks quite good, actually.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot going on in Malta at the moment, as we all know. The power cuts, the construction, but it's totally. It's all about supply and demand, because people complain about the construction and then they complain about the high prices.
Yeah.
So if there's no more construction, the prices are going to get higher.
Exactly.
If they want more quality, the prices are going to get higher. So I think it's more of a discussion that has to be had by people to have a longer term planning sort of vision of where this goes at the end of the day. And we have seen that. I've seen some streetscapes keeping the same. The MDA have come up with a very good proposal for the GFA valuation of airspace to keep streetscapes the same. And to build high-rise, I really believe in high-rise. I mean, the only way I believe is up. I think affordable housing needs a lot of looking at.
Obviously, because people, that are Maltese and that have been living here for their whole life have felt the difference in the pricing, so it's much harder for average people to be able to afford a property.
It's definitely, but it's also firstly, I think before we were a bit sort of blessed, because sharing rooms in Barcelona and in Rome, and this is normal. Amsterdam, these rooms in Amsterdam, the places you rent in Amsterdam, there's steps like this, you go up, pushing your suitcase up 2 fucking steps, So that if you had to do that in Malta, it would be all over the internet.
Of course, yeah.
So, but this is something that, so before in Malta, we said we were blessed by having sort of the 80%, 85% of the people own their own property. Today, it's a little bit different, but yes, although that some Maltese are renting and what so on, it's also, there are a lot of them making money because there's a lot of opportunity on the market.
Not everyone, just...
Even those people that had some terraced house today, but we started always making things smaller. So we started from houses, then we went into terraced houses, then we went into maisonettes, then we went into 4+1s. So on the same plot of land, many more people started to live, which obviously a lot of people start to move around each other, start to create this friction, But it's also added the sense of community, and even a lot of expats have come here and brought their culture with them. And I think that has added value for Malta. I think it's all these different foods. Before...
Of course,
you try to be a vegan, for example, you find one restaurant. No, there's so many options.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that Malta, we tweak a little few things. I think we can get it right. I believe in Malta. I love Malta.
Me too. I wouldn't leave, honestly. I'd go for a long holiday, but my heart is with Malta.
I've been to Bali for 2 months, man, and it was amazing. I loved it. I was with my wife. She did a yoga course there, and my daughter. But it's not an earthquake, it's a monkey smashing at the window. It's not a monkey, so it's a power cut. So it's In fact, I was like, after 2 months, I need to go home. I need to go home. I need to go home.
You miss it though.
The first thing I did was go down to Tony's bar. I ordered. There's a tortellini legend. It's called. It's actually named after me. Your name, tortellini legend with salami. I like putting salami and sweet corn in it. I got a penne legend and I put it in a Hobbs in a bite of bacon. And I just needed a fucking steera. I really needed a steera. But yeah, it was after eating so much Indonesian food, I needed a steera. So yeah, I mean, Malta has my heart and I'll always stay. I'm not leaving.
And I'm sad to tell you that we are almost finishing. Tell the people how can they find you in the social media.
Click the like below, the link below, the share button below. And thank you for the invite. I really enjoyed that. I'm Steve Mercieca 86 on Instagram. QuickLets, Zanzi Homes. Follow us and be part of our journey. Come and join us if you're thinking about joining real estate. We'll train you all the way. We've got in-house academies. You can speak to Regis at the Bureau. Just join us, and I think that you will never turn back. Thank you, Ingrid.
To finish, what was the craziest story that you've ever had so far?
The craziest story I think in real estate. I mean, I've actually really seen it all, man. I've seen quite a lot. I think one of the things that I think, I wouldn't say craziest. What I really like is the relationships with the clients which I've had till today. A lot of them are friends with me, but I think one of the craziest stories that I had is I rented this apartment of this guy. I rented this apartment in Sweetie to 5 students. They told me that they were going to be okay and everything's going to be good. And anyway, and I told you, I was like, listen, 5 students, I'm a bit concerned. I told them, listen, it's going to be okay. It's going to be all right. And it wasn't, man. They trashed the apartment to I don't know what. After a month, I went there. He called me, and he's like, bro, Shatamel, get them out. And I went there, and I was like shocked, man. The amount of things, and that's where I started to learn to qualify clients. And but at the time, I had cleaned it all myself. I still have a photo of it.
Whoa.
6 garbage bags, broken door. I changed the door, changed the shower. Obviously, as an agent, you take some responsibility on your clients, and you try and make it right. And today the guy opened the franchise with us. So I found it quite funny and at the same time like crazy, because sometimes these things turn into a problem, turns into a very good relationship if it's solved out in the right way. And that's what we pride ourselves at QuickLets and making sure we give a great service.
Okay, so if you, as an owner, don't want to have this kind of headaches, we have a team of property managers.
We sure do. Sorry.
Don't forget to subscribe and follow us, The Vero Street, and The Vero Street podcast here on YouTube. Thank you, Steve, for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ciao.